Yeah, welcome. And it is official. Of course, we begin our official countdown. 30 days countdown to the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. And don't forget that 5 African countries will be representing the continent. And today, of course, it's a very, very happy day for me because, of course, we are already in the World Cup mode. Even though the Super Eagles of Nigeria wouldn't be there, of course, we will be rooting for the Black Stars of Ghana. So today, let's look at, we'll be looking at a statement from Austin Okocha about the 5 representatives at the tournament. It is not the case of bad belly. It's just trying to examine what all the African representatives will be able to do at that tournament. And Okocha is saying that he doesn't see any of these 5 countries doing anything at the World Cup, including the Black Stars, who are denied Nigeria their 7th appearance at the tournament. So Kade Ogundare joins us via a video, while James Agberebi is physically present with me in the studio. James, you're welcome to Kanda. It's official, and we are beginning.
Yeah, Femi, I'm very excited. This something that we've been cooking up, you know, so we're ready to deliver it to our viewers, and I'm very happy. Unfortunately, Nigeria will not be going to be at the World Cup, but hey, we're still going to follow the World Cup. You know, we've missed out in past editions, and the World Cup still went ahead, so it's not going to be different this edition. So I'll look forward to an exciting build-up to the World Cup.
James, you said that rightly. Of course, Kade, you're welcome to the show. It's a countdown, it's official, and we're kicking off today.
I'm already in the World Cup mode. Let's go there.
So, Kayode, I'll start with you. Nigeria will not be going to the World Cup. It will have been interesting if Nigeria will be going, and Okocha still said it, but he said he doesn't see any of the 5 African representatives doing anything meaningful at the World Cup. He said Senegal and Morocco might actually do something, maybe equal the record that had been set by Africa. He said, but Ghana, Cameroon, and Tunisia, after the first 3 rounds of matches, group stages, they're coming back home. What is your impression, Kayode?
Well, that's Okocha's opinion, which I respect. Absolute legend of the game. But for me, Femi, tell me, apart from Nigeria in 1994, and I think was I think apart from Nigeria in 1994, there has never been like a World Cup year where there is any hope that any African country is going to do well at the World Cup. In 1990, when Cameroon did well at the World Cup, they actually lost out in the group stages of the AFCON in all years. Senegal did well in 2002. But they didn't do well in 2000. They lost out in the quarterfinals in 2000 in the preceding. Even when they played the final of the African Cup of Nations at home in 2002, they did not do too well. Do you understand? So in Mali, they didn't do too well. Okay, they lost. I think they lost the final or something. So for me, it is.
Yeah, I think they lost the penalty.
Yeah, to Cameroon now, I remember. So nobody has always given any African team the opportunity. In 2010, when Ghana did well at the World Cup, relatively, nobody thought they were going to do well. So the Africans have always thrived when nobody believes in us. So for me, while I respect Okocha's view and every other person who has talked about this, I think it is too early to say this. Even though our preparations have always been chaotic, we do things at the last minute, we do things that things that European countries would have done like years ago, we do them at the last minute. But when the hour comes, African countries have a way of just turning up. So I hope this is going to happen this time around. So that's why I'm not going to share the pessimism of anybody. Now I'm pumped up for the World Cup, and I think it's going to be a wonderful one for the African teams.
Okay, James, I will quickly read Okocha's quote. He said, "It's the first time that I'm not confident enough about Africa's chances at the World Cup." He said maybe they can surprise us and do well. If you look at Asia or North America, he was talking about they've been stronger, they are ahead of us. And he said, we are already 50 places behind South America and Europe now. Of course, we know that. He said, and he talked about, they said we have hopes in Senegal and Morocco. They seem the strongest. Tunisia, Ghana, and Cameroon seems to be a stepping stone for other teams to reach the knockout stage. He said with their current form, I fear they will go home after 3 matches?
Well, he made mention of something. He said surprise. You hope they will surprise us. That's one thing I believe that the African team. I mean, there was always one African team, even though not all of them. Just one that would just spring up and nobody expected Cameroon.
But which
to
of
go
these 5? Which of these?
Well,
5
we want to.
If at all there will be.
Yeah, based on Senegal, you see, this is the team that have been building. They didn't start building from the Nations Cup or the last World Cup that they went to.
Since I've been there for almost
so
7
it's
years
a team that is already there. So I won't be surprised if they're going to be the team that will do it for Africa. But you cannot rule out the likes of Ghana, because fine, everybody will say, yeah, they're not doing well now. Their friendly games have been chaotic. But like we used to say, from these friendly games can be deceptive. You never can tell, because by the time they get to the World Cup, they might just click. And, I mean, they become unstoppable. Nobody gave them the chance to go as far as the quarterfinal. They almost got to the semi-final.
But do you just click like that?
Sometimes
there must have been some chemistry.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping that will happen for the Black Stars, because they have the players. I mean, we see some of their players doing very well in the club side. You see Partey, you see Kudus, you see Salisu for Southampton. All these guys, they've been doing well. So it's just a matter, and Inaki Williams, and so it's just about coming together and clicking. And once they click, I mean, they're going to be unstoppable. Thank God they're still going to play against Switzerland prior to the World Cup. So, I mean, from there, the coach should be, as long as you're able to get his tactics and everything, I believe that they are going to do well. Therefore, Morocco, one thing about the North Africans, what I've come to realize that when it comes to the major tournament, it's as if I'm sounding like a broken record.
This is
not
CAF Champions League.
I know, but the thing is, when they get outside Africa, I mean, they tend to struggle. The last time the North African team got to the round of 16 was Algeria in 2014. But when it comes to the teams that normally, I mean, you look at the West African team. Ghana have been to the knockout stage. Nigeria have been to the knockout stage. Senegal too have been to the knockout stage. So for me, I think I'll just stick my neck to Senegal as the team based on what they've been doing. But if you're looking at surprises,
most ranked,
yes,
team
so you want to put them as the team that you feel will be able to go far. But when in terms of surprises, teams that can surprise. At the World Cup, you're looking at Ghana, you're looking at Cameroon. I'm not really too confident when it comes to teams like Tunisia. Like when they get to that world stage, they tend to fold up. So for me, I'm looking at Cameroon, Ghana as the team that can surprise all. But for me, Senegal, based on what they've been doing, you want to stick your neck for them to like the team that will go far at the World Cup.
Kayode, of course, we'll look at the other teams in the group of each of these African representatives as we continue our countdown. But let's look at Ghana. If the results in the friendly against Brazil and Nicaragua had been different, or maybe better still, the performance had been more impressive, do you think the faith in the Black Stars will have maybe gone up in regards to a comment by Odartey Lamptey, who said he doesn't have faith in the current crop of these Black Stars?
Well, again, I defer to Lamptey's opinion too, because he's also a legend of the game. But again, like I did in the Okocha case, I still do not share that pessimism, because I think it is a good thing that the results went the way they went. Femi, don't forget that I said something before the Brazil game. I said I did not want a result that would demoralize the team if they lose by a heavy score like 5-0, 6-0. Then I do not want a result that will also flatter them. If they had drawn Brazil or won by the hot goal, they will say, if we could hold Brazil, if we could beat Brazil, then we are ready for the World Cup. That would not be a good reflection of what is the strength of the team. Now we are down to ground zero. No expectations whatsoever, and this is where the Africans, especially the West Africans, are most dangerous. Like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Ghana's performance at the World Cup. What James was trying to say, which I agree with 100%, is when you get to the competition, Femi, you need two things. You need what I call the tournament bounce. Two, you need to do very well in your first game. Make sure you do not lose your first game. If you don't lose your first game, it will be better if you win the first game. But if you do not win, don't lose it. That's the canon. If you do not lose your first game, it gives you a step into the next game and gives you confidence. So that's what I expect the Ghanaians to do, and all the other African teams. Like he said too, I will not put anything on Morocco, because where the North Africans, they are very good in Africa, especially the club competitions, because the bulk of their players play at home. And when it gets to the competition outside Africa, they tend to just freeze. They don't do well there. So I will still put my money on the Senegalese and the Cameroonians and the Ghanaians ahead of the North Africans. That's what I think.
Okay, so your faith is still with West Africa and Central Africa. All right, Kayode.
I'm not saying this because I'm a West African. I'm just saying this because I think that's the reality.
Okay, of course, I totally agree with you, because if you look at the pedigree at the World Cup, of course, the West Africans and the Central Africans, they are the ones that... James, let's look at what Lamptey said. He said the technical team is an excellent group. He talked about them. He said, but the problem is a young squad which has never played a competition like this before. He's explaining why he said he doesn't have confidence in this team. We have just 2 minutes to round up.
Well, everybody has their own opinion. Lamptey is a legend in Ghanaian football. So if someone like that talk, I mean, you want to listen. But I think I always want to go back to the 2010 squad. And remember, that squad was a very young squad. They started showing signs at the AFCON in Angola. They got to the final.
That's different. They've been playing together.
No, some of those guys came from the under-20. The likes of this guy played at the under-20 World Cup, Dede and Dominic Adia. You know, those guys came from the under-20 and merged with the guys that they were even still young then.
But the likes of Montari had been in the team for some time.
Yeah, no, so the thing, you can't just throw away all your experienced players. But you know, when you have this mix of old and experienced players, that's what makes the team exciting. You know, so for me, Lamptey has said his own, so he's now left for the...
Okocha has said his own.
They've said their own, so everybody has their own opinion. They can say whatever they want to say. I mean, so he's now.
Let me boss in there.
Okay.
These voices of naysayers should serve as motivation for the players.
Exactly, yeah.
You took that out of my mouth.
Exactly. Just like what the South Korean sports minister said. So just, you know, just okay.
So when everybody thinks you cannot do it, let's go out there
and do it, exactly. So that's just the thing. So they just use all these words as motivation to just go to the World Cup and surprise people.
So I think for me, I think the die is cast, and for the Black Stars of Ghana, you have I wouldn't say you have a lot of enemies. You have a lot of people who do not believe in you. It's left for you to go to the World Cup. That group H, if possible, you can even win that group H. Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo is 37 years old. He's old. Uruguay, I'm sure they still rely so much on Suarez. Suarez is no longer the Suarez that the hand of the devilish hand, right? So it is no longer the same Suarez. So I think the Black Stars, if they actually believe in themselves, they can actually do something at the World Cup. So today, like we said, is the beginning of a countdown to the 2021 World Cup. So tomorrow, watch out for another episode. Of course, we'll bring you something interesting to your door as we continue to look at how African teams will fare at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. So until tomorrow, we say watch out. Bye for now.